Well, hello everybody. This is Joanne from Navigate Biz and Ducere Global Business School. Welcome and thank you so much for attending the webinar. And for those of you who are going to be watching this on the recording, welcome to you as well. So I want to make sure, first things first, let's make sure, set ourselves up for success. Do you have your notebook ready? I've got mine in case I've got to make some notes. Ideas, jot down ideas. And maybe pop your headphones on. I've closed the door in my office so I won't get interrupted by the various pets and so on and so forth. And we'll be good to go. So let's jump in and let's talk about how an MBA can become the game changer your career needed or needs. So that's what this is about tonight. And I'm excited. Like, I always enjoy delivering these because I know we've got something amazing to share. So those of you who've not heard of Ducere Global Business School, you might look at the wording and go, how the heck do I pronounce that? So I made sure I put how you say it on this screen here. It actually means to lead, it's Latin, and you simply say Ducere, which is D-O-S-I-R. It's pretty easy, right? So Ducere Global Business School. I want to start with a story tonight. This is one of our MBA alumni. Now, I had the pleasure of meeting Patricia. She is a real person. I met her about a month ago. The Ducere executive team, who are mostly female, interestingly, were meeting with her and a couple of other people just to walk through and understand what they got out of undertaking their MBA. So when she started her MBA, a few things had happened in her life. She had built a business. She was in IT. She'd built a significant business and she sold it. And, she was happy with the sale. And as part of the sale, they asked if she would continue to work for them, managing consultant in there for a number of years. You know, as often happens when businesses sell and a new owner comes in and, they change the culture and things change. And she noticed that it was changing, not so that it was so aligned with her values and why she wanted to be involved in the business. So she managed to negotiate her exit within about six months. But what they did put on her, which is not unusual, is a 3-year restraint of trade. So, Patricia, I believe she is of similar age to me, nearly around the 60-year-old mark. And so she was thinking, crikey, what am I going to do? I've sold my business. I'd love to go and do some more business or consulting work. So she decided that this was a good time for her to go and explore to do an MBA. Now, we're very delighted that she came across Ducere. And so she enrolled in her MBA. And, she was fortunate. She was now not working and she could give it the time. And so that's awesome that she was positioned perfectly to do that. What she shared, though, was during her initial MBA journey, like, she hadn't studied for a very long time, not since she was, early 20s when she obtained her bachelor's. And so, education changed a lot, wasn't really sure what to expect and how it was going to work out. So, in this meeting that I was with her about, I just got some Zoom, right, just checking the chat. Sorry, my apologies. I've got a lovely Sherry is looking after me tonight, so I appreciate that. What she shared was that the first subject she did when she submitted her assignment, her paper, she actually failed it. Now, on that call, I had the head academic in Ducere in that call, and she was actually Patricia's academic for the program. And she shared that, interestingly, this is not unusual, particularly because maybe for people who've not studied for a very long time. But what the academic shared was her personal angst or anxiety of letting Patricia know or marking it as not yet competent. But the great thing was that she got the opportunity to revisit it. She'd written a great paper, but she hadn't gone to the depth of the research required. So Carolina, our academic, worked with Patricia to make sure that she could achieve a pass. She probably got a distinction, I wouldn't be surprised. But what Patricia shared in regards to that story was it was a really valuable lesson and something that she appreciated, the effort that Carolina working with Patricia gave her the opportunity to rewrite or amend the paper and update it so that it was what Carolina needed. But it set her up for success for the remaining 5 subjects, because in the Ducere MBAs, when we undertake a study through our overseas partners, there's only 6 subjects. So Patricia was delighted, and Carolina shared how well Patricia then flourished through the course, and she really did really, really well. What it enabled her to do was to launch a new business, and it gave her the confidence, the strategies, the network. She also had networked with a lot of people in her MBA cohort, and so she launched a new business. And now, you know, what we asked her was, well, what was the outcome of the MBA that when she finished it? Yes, she launched her new business. Amazing, fantastic. But what she then shared was next level. Now, she had aspirations to be on some boards, and she is now, I think the tally was about 5 or 6, a couple of industry bodies, a couple of businesses that are in the industry, the IT industry. Oh, actually, she's in energy, not in IT, she's in energy. And so she has now achieved her own MBA, launched her business. It's thriving really well. She's doing consulting work into the energy business sector. But now she's on a bunch of global boards. And so I wanted to share that story first up, just to sort of set the scene that this is someone, you can go and find her on our YouTube channel. You will find her speaking about her story of undertaking study with Ducere to complete her MBA. So I wanted to share that because I thought, what a great story. You know, there were some challenges, there's restraint, she enrolled, she had some hiccups, she thrived, she launched a new business, and now she's on global boards. Well, who wouldn't want that sort of, now not everybody wants to be on a global board, but who wouldn't want to achieve success of levels they've not expected from prior to being an MBA graduate? So let's jump into a little bit more of the content. What I want to share with you is just a few ideas, a few things, you know, because life can be jolly amazing, right? But sometimes there's a bunch of people out there. I'm often speaking to business owners, people who work for corporates, and sometimes they feel that they are endlessly trying to pursue success, you know, balance in their life and purpose. I'm going to be a little bit contentious here when people talk about life balance, like work-life balance. I actually would like to say BS to that. With a caveat though, when you are connected to why you do what you do, you are very much connected to your purpose. The things that you do bring you joy. This work-life balance thing, I think, is actually relevant because you actually enjoy what you're doing. And that's what I want to have, or to help and mentor clients through the Navigate Business and the Ducere Global Business, is to help them to understand that it's your right. It is your opportunity to feel joy and success. So what I don't want you to be doing is hiding behind the busyness of an excuse that, you know, you haven't yet connected with your true purpose and calling. And is it something that you're relying on and not actually doing something about? So let's explore this a little bit, because we want to break the glass ceiling of what's holding you back. You know, we hear it constantly. It's across social media. There's lots of white noise in social media about leading an intentional life and all those sort of things. But often it's felt, oh man, how do I do that? How do I lead an intentional life that's not exhausting, right? It's like 7 o'clock in the evening here for me tonight. I got up at 4:30, not unusual for me, and I'm still feeling pretty jolly good, and I've been to gym. Now, this is not about doing this to me for Joanne going rah, rah. This is me showing and sharing with you that I absolutely know that what I'm doing today in my business and how I connect with people to help them to thrive, it's where I'm meant to be, connects to my purpose, my why, my values. And so that invigorates me, that energizes me. And so that's what we want for you. So, hey, I'm Joanne. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Joanne Brooks. I've been a business owner for over 20 years. I've launched actually more than 15 businesses. I launched my most recent one in June this year, which is the Ducere Global Business School, Brisbane, at the age of 60. Yes, I've built a business to 30 million in 24 months. No, that was not an overnight success. I had 20 odd years of learning, failing, succeeding, picking up, going again to set me up for success for that. I'm an author. I don't have it handy here. I'm an author of a book, but I'm also an author of programs and courses that we deliver through Navigate Biz. I often work with industry partners, the Small Business Association of Australia, Finance Brokers Association of Australia, and the Franchise Council of Australia as one of their preferred education provider. I'm a keynote speaker and a business mentor. It's important for me to share with you what I've done, because you need to feel comfortable that I've got the experience and I can help you and that I've got the credibility to live with us. So that's why I talk about that. So one of the things that I want to challenge you tonight is I want to make 1 degree shift in your perspective that will take you from exhausting to transformational. That is my challenge to you today. I want to make a shift in the way you think. And, you know, I've been delivering these webinars once a month, and at one point I was doing them twice a week. For the last 3 years, I've delivered webinars to nearly 6,000 people in that time. And I always ask, if you are making the effort to register to attend these webinars, I want you to take action. Please don't be one of these people who come along and don't take any action out of it. It's not respectful of your time, and it's not respectful of mine and anybody else who was listening to these webinars. Now, I know we've had, we get flooded with tutorials and webinars. So I actually want to make sure that you get something from it. You will get an email. You'll get some free gifts from me. There's no big call to action, but I do want to make a 1 degree shift in your perspective. So I'm going to share this next few slides. I'm going to share some 3 tips that I feel will help you to clarify your purpose, give you clarity about where you should spend your energy, and clarity about who should be in your key relationships. This is really setting up the framework so that you are ready to move forward to take action. So clarity of purpose. You know, we're all unique. You are who you are. We want to make sure that when you have defined your purpose, it ignites your soul. It is also the thing when your days go to custard, and guess what? They do, and they will continue to do that. It's just the way it is. But it's the thing that even if you've got it on the wall, even if you've got it as your screen saver, even if you've got it on your phone as your desk, as your wallpapers, trying to get your words out, Joanne. It's the thing when you look at it, you can see and you can feel what it's doing for you when you actually have defined why you do what you do. Now, when I speak to many business owners and I ask them why did they start their business, or why are they in the career that they want, good money, yada yada, these sort of things. You know, when money becomes the driver, I will always go back to them saying, no, you need to go deeper. I know for me, for my purpose is, yes, I want to make it, I want to have people feel that the effort is worth it and that they can achieve the heady heights of success, whether it's in their business, whether it's in their career, to levels they never thought that they could. And when I know when that happens, a ripple effect occurs, right? So when you are successful, your family feels the impact, they experience the impact. So does the company for whom you work, the company that you operate, your customers, your suppliers. It creates this ripple. And for me, creating that ripple is what gives me joy. It fills me with hope and fills me with inspiration. And so I know when I reconnect to my purpose, when the days go to custard, it's the thing that will get you picking up the phone one more time. It's the thing that will get you picking yourself up and going again. And so, you know, the next piece here, you know, it's great that you might have defined your purpose and know what your values are, because it will power your energy. But be really mindful of who you surround yourself with. Too many people are listening to people who don't have the credibility. Too many people are stuck on this thing and scrolling and watching what's on social media. Look, how many businesses do you see on social media that it says, You think of it, you look at their performance, you look at what they're doing, you look at the impact that you think they're making, and you think, man, they are an overnight success. I can guarantee you, most often, it's very rare that an overnight success exists. It is also, if it does exist, it's through some amazing, miraculous effort. I would question whether it's going to be sustainable, because often those sort of growth, exponential growth, creates very rocky foundations, and so often they don't last. So the thing that you need to be really mindful of is, who are you listening to? Who are you learning from? Who are you surrounding yourself from? If you cannot distance yourself from those people, at least have the awareness to recognize that when they share information with you, or their advice given with often given with love, but just quality check. Do they have the credibility? Do they have the experience? Are they talking with authority, or are they just giving you their best intended advice? So, too many people are listening to the wrong people. So then go find the right people. Find the people who connect to you with your values, your purpose, why you exist, what you're doing, what your aspirations are, who can help you to get to that level. And, some of those people may be family and friends, and that might be difficult. But as I said, at least have the awareness to not absorb that negative energy if they are giving you information that doesn't serve you, because it will just drain you and it won't serve you, and it will make it very difficult for you to reconnect to your purpose and remain connected to it, because you'll be completely drained. So this is just the extension of that. The clarity of your key relationships. So surround yourself with the right people, do the audit, toss out the people that don't serve you, and really connect with those people who are important to you. There are lots of opportunities to secure mentors. Mentors could be also authors. Like, there's books here that I read. I'm just going to go grab a couple that I've got, literally have on my desk. This man here, Robin Sharma, I love reading his books. You can see his book is covered in tags and writings. I consider him a mentor. I really love the way he speaks about business. I love the way he writes stories within it. And this is an amazing one that I've just picked up recently. Again, this is somebody that I consider my mentor. Do I know them? No. But education is so important. This is called Big Magic. This is from Elizabeth Gilbert, who is the author of Eat, Pray, Love. Fabulous movie. Didn't know it was actually her story. But this is an amazing book, to the point that I've actually bought that for my daughter for Christmas. I'm hoping she's not watching tonight. But anyway, for me, the people you surround yourself with could be authors, could be podcasters, could be networks, it could be colleagues at work, it could be senior people, it could be other business owners. Just do the work to make sure that you surround yourself with the right people to serve you and to help you to get to where you need to be. Because it's about taking back your life and taking control. Too many people that I speak to, whether they're it's their career or their business, and they feel as though they're out of control. What I want you to achieve is success without sacrificing yourself or those around you, but living with intention and purpose. So, these are just some quality checks for you to think about. I do a lot of work with business owners and, people who are looking to improve their career. We do a lot of mentoring, we do coaching, we've got programs that help you with that. But this is just thought-provoking ideas, because today is about embracing the opportunity. It's about sharpening your focus to really intentionally invest in you. Because what I know is, if you want something to change, it will be up to you. Only you can change where you are going and where you are destined. If you are waiting for somebody to do it for you, I would say you need to stop that, because the only person who can make the change is you. I learned that a long time ago at the age of 18, and there's a podcast and story all around what that looks like. So the only way something can change is you need to work on self first. The only way. So what do you do with? So, what to do now? Surround yourself with, who are you surrounding yourself with, and what's keeping you from moving forward? So let me share with you this is what I don't want for you. I don't want you to feel that you're invisible or that you're not getting to where you need to be. So I'm going to just share super quickly four tips. Now, these are tips that I've established from 30 odd years in business, and they're in no order of priority. One I know about anybody who wants to achieve success is you need to be curious. Constantly ask yourself, what if? I know for me, I ask that question. I also ask, what are the consequences if I do this or that? Don't settle just because you've done it one way. You know, we've all heard it. Just because it's done that way, why do we need to change it? But what if you did it differently? You know, the thing that we often get caught up with. As I said, I've spoken about it already tonight. You know, we often get buried with overwhelm and stress. You know, particularly in the last 3 years, there's a lot of commentary around that at the moment. But and it's not cliche, but I really want you to find the gold in the challenge, and you do that by being curious. What if? What if this happened? Like you look at Patricia that I was sharing the story before earlier in the slides. She got hit with a 3-year trade restriction, and that's common when you sell a business and you move on. And so she was thinking, well, I'm not going to sit here twiddling my thumbs. What do I need to do? What if I did this? And that was her pathway. So I just want you to keep that curiosity going on inside. You know, being unexpected. It's interesting. And there's I was talking to a Ducere student a number of months ago, and she was already enrolled in a leadership and strategic planning MBA out of our Mauritius University. And, you know, she was enjoying it and having a lot of fun. And she was explaining to me, this is a true story, like a few months ago. She said she's enrolled in this. She's been progressing really well, really loving it. She's applied for a number of promotions over the last couple of years in the business with whom she works, and every time have been declined. So I had a few questions for her, and I said, did she know why she'd not got the role? And, you know, through a bit of questioning and delving into it, what came to light was her organisation that she worked for only promoted those people who'd been there the longest. So I said to her, so how long you been there? 5 years. How long was the person who'd been promoted? 15. So I said to her, you have some choices here. Are you prepared to stay another 10 years so that you can get that promotion? Are you prepared to leave? Or there's a third option here. How many people have you told that you're doing an MBA? Well, no one. Here, let me just grab a quick drink of water. No one, she said. And I said, well, that's really curiosity. Why? Why wouldn't you talk about that? Because the things you're learning, the mentors that you have in there, you know, the networking that you're working on, the live projects that they're part of. And she said, but I'm not a show off. That's really egotistical. And I went, okay, let's be really clear here. You are undertaking an MBA that actually will be a game changer for your career. Yes, she agreed. You're learning new skills. Yes, I am. Are you implementing them at work? Well, yes. So why aren't you telling people that the skills that you're bringing to work to make sure, to enable you to be a more efficient, productive, all the things that you want from a staff member, and she wasn't telling anybody. So be unexpected and be prepared to tell people what you're doing. And that's in the top right-hand corner. Know your why. Tap into your values. Know the difference between purpose and why. Tell everyone and be loud and proud. Be prepared to stand up and stand your ground when it comes to your values and your purpose. You know, for me, I have my values, and I almost use them as a checklist. In fact, I'm going to correct myself. I do use them as a checklist. You know, there are often opportunities come my way that I go, oh, I'm not entirely sure that it's what I need. And I often talk about head, heart, and gut. Head, have I got the data to know that I can make a good decision? Heart, how does it feel? Gut, what are those butterflies doing? Are they scared butterflies? Are they worried butterflies? What are they? I use my values as a quality check. This value, does it align with what this new opportunity is? Yep, great. That value, not so much. What about this value? Oh, a bit wobbly. If I can't get the majority of those ticked, I know that if I proceed with that opportunity and it is not aligned to my values and my purpose, it's going to be damn hard, really hard to make that relationship or that opportunity work for me. So I know that I make a point of talking about my values, my purpose, what I do, because you know what it does? It attracts like-minded people. It attracts the right people in my circle. It enables me to be surrounded by the right people. So this bottom right-hand corner one might look a bit odd. Be prepared to say no and yes. Too many people are people pleasers. Please stop doing that if you're one of those people. Do be prepared to say no. Now, when you are working, operating, living, breathing to your values and your purpose, it makes it really easy to stand your ground. It makes it really easy to know what is not negotiable. Stand your ground and take the stance that it is not aligned to my values. Now, it might be a hard no, whatever this thing is that you're being asked. It could be that you just need to say, actually, now's not a good time. Could we do it at Wednesday at 2 p.m? Or it is an absolute hard no. But then there's the flip. Be prepared to say yes to the right things, the things that feel good, head, heart, and gut, as I spoke about. They align to your values and purpose. Does it fill you with a little bit of fear or anxiety? Maybe. And you know what? I think it's actually a good thing, because fear makes you, for me, fear makes me be not overly cautious, but to tread carefully, to test the waters. You know, if there's an opportunity that comes my way, maybe it's a pilot we're going to do first instead of jumping in both feet 110%. But just be prepared, you know, to have some boundaries. Now, I often speak to, you know, mentoring with people and, you know, talking about them. Have you established boundaries? And they often, too often, they say no. So hopefully these 4 points will give you some idea of how not to be invisible and to actually move forward. Did I just go the wrong way? I'm not sure. I may have done that. Let me go. So I want to share with you what the opportunity is through Ducere Global Business School, because, you know, we're talking about MBAs. There was no secret in that. You've received emails from me. But let me show you and share with you what makes it different. Now, I've known the owner of Ducere Global Business School for nearly 20 years now. I was in business with him back then, and we went our separate ways. What if I said to you that you could learn from over 250 global leaders as your virtual mentors? And those global leaders are prime ministers, presidents, heads of state, heads of the UN, people like Desmond Tutu, amazing, Goldie Hawn, Lindsay Fox, Julia Gillard. What Ducere have done, they have created a university environment without being the actual university, but they have used entrepreneurs and global leaders to create the content. And then they've gone and knocked on the doors of a bunch of universities around the world and said, this is what we've created. This is what the content looks like. We have our own entrepreneurial academics. Will you accredit our programs with your university? And will you issue the certificate of the MBA of Innovation, Leadership, Executive MBAs under your university, banner? And they've said yes, which is amazing. So learning from global leaders. Now, I know you can go and Google these people, but the interviews have been curated to meet the learning outcomes of the subjects that you study. So yes, you can go and listen to these people on YouTube. I get that. But what you won't get is a curated interview so that you are learning specifically from a global leader about the particular subject that you are learning. What if I said to you, there are no exams? And you look at me and go, well, how's that possible, Joanne? I've had academics look at me and go, what do you mean? So you will write papers. You will have to do some research, no doubt about it. But nobody enjoys mindless exams where you've got to regurgitate what's sitting in your brain that you've hopefully shoved all this information in your brain in a 3-hour exam. They don't exist in the Ducere Global Business School. What you will get exposed to are global projects with international companies as your assessments. So you'll get invited for each of your subjects to participate in a real project with a real company that is live. It's not based on a project from FedEx 10 years ago. So we are constantly looking for companies that have, they're looking for solutions in their business, and we bring in the MBA cohort or the bachelor's cohort students in to work on those projects. So you'll get insights into global companies that are relevant to your industry, that you can bring those learnings back into your business or your career. Project work is not unusual in MBAs. Live, real projects is unusual. What if there were MBAs that you could do in half the time? What if there were MBAs that you could do for a fraction of the cost? So let me share with you. These are, you can go look on our website. You can look on YouTube. You will see all these people plus many, many more. These are the types of people, an example of the people that we have as the global leaders and the videos that you can listen to within your subjects of your program that you'd be undertaking. Sir John Howard. We've got a lady here who is I've met Suzanne Moylan-Coombs. She is an amazing Indigenous woman, First Nations woman, and she is driven to help Indigenous communities globally to really stand their ground and take a presence in business and in their careers. Just an example of some of your global leaders. What we do have under the Ducere Global Business School is the people of these caliber, these ladies who have actually were or are part of the Ducere Global executive team. Really delighted to be part of them. I'm on here. We've got the current executive team. You will see all ladies, very interestingly, and I'm delighted to be part of the team that is driving change in business. So what are they about? What are these programs that I'm talking about? So I'm talking specifically about MBAs. So you can see on the left-hand side what the MBAs are. You can see on the right-hand side the universities that we work with and their logos down below. You can see it all over our website. So these universities issue the MBA certificate. They are recognised here in Australia. The amazing thing is we've got Australian ones and we've got overseas ones, all equally accredited, all equally recognised. But you can see there's different topics here. So that enables us to have intakes throughout the year continuously. I spoke about no exams, industry projects. I wanted to share with you because I think this is really important. This is just a short example of the types of companies that our MBA students are invited to work in under their projects for their MBA. No exams are set. You still have to write some papers, of course, do the research, standard degree protocols. But, you know, Disney, Australian Government in Treasury, Spotless, Radisson, Save the Children, United Nations, PwC, and the list goes on. I just wanted to share with you so you could actually get insights of the types of companies that you will be invited, and they're going to be relevant to the industry that you are working in or that you want to work in. So they'll be handpicked for you. I think that's amazing. So here's a couple of I'll let you, I'll not talk too much, I'm not going to read these. These are just some feedbacks from previous students of what they got out of working in the United Nations with Disney or PwC. You know, this is real stuff. This is real impact. This is real projects. I know even me as a business owner, to work in any of those businesses would be amazing and life-changing. So I just want to really reiterate the importance and the difference that Ducere offer. We deliver everything online. It is our own, it's a commercial platform, but it's our own content. There are no textbooks for you to buy. Once everything you've enrolled and payments are going through, there's no other fees for you to pay. Everything is on the system. The presentations, the tutorials, the get-togethers with your academic in the group scenario, the video content, and it's called Canvas, and it's one of the most leading learning management systems in the world. And I'm really happy that Ducere uses that. I've owned a number of learning management systems myself, and this is up there. So a great platform that you can do all your learning online. So how do we compare? I just thought a quick little comparison here. I just want to be mindful of time. Your traditional, created by academics, of course, highly experienced, highly respected people in the university space. Case study, theoretical assessments, takes 3 to 6 years. For an MBA, 35, worst case I've heard is 300 grand, complicated entry requirements through Ducere, content created by entrepreneurs, industry relevant projects, hand on heart, 18 months to 2 years to complete your MBA. Price point is between 13,000, 45,000, job done. Smooth, easy entry requirements and global leader mentors. We have also significant scholarships available. So entry requirements, super important, job really quick. You've either got a bachelor's degree with a resume, done, or management experience, minimum 3 years, current resume, 2 references, a personal letter from you, photo ID, pretty much knocks it out of the park, and you're accepted into any one of the universities that we have. So what's your next step? I want you to take the lead and be the change. Connect with me, register to undertake an MBA yourself, establish a clear career path that leads you to where you want it to go, whether you're in business, whether you have a career. Join a network of female and male leaders. You know, you get to attend events, and we are looking to doing leadership differently. So the question I ask is, are you ready? And do you know anyone else who is ready to take the lead with you? So what are the things that we covered today? We've got to make one shift, shifting your perspective. So hopefully, if anything I've done, I've helped you to identify changing your mindset, how not to be invisible, say no or yes, be curious, know what is not negotiable, connect to your why. Those are the things that are important. And potentially I've made a shift in what you think about as a university or MBA opportunity for you. So what's next? Yes, I'm going to send you an email. There'll be one coming through the LinkedIn platform, but you'll also get one through me. You'll get a recording of this link. You'll get an ebook from me, which is this one here, Extraordinary Goal Setting, which is my one gift for you. The next gift I'm going to give to you is my time. But I want to take a short moment here. We spoke about very briefly, and you might have seen some commentary about a return on investment in your MBA. So if you actually want to have a look at some real data about what it would look like, impact it would have on your salary if you undertake an MBA, I'm now going to jump out of this slide deck and I'm going to hop on my website. You will get a link to this. Let me just go to the page. I'm trusting you can see this screen. I am going to put in. So this is on my website. You can find it. I'll send you the link. No problem at all. Let's say your salary is currently $100,000. You only have to put in something in where the white pieces are. How many more years do you think you will be working, just working, not in this particular role, this particular industry? How long do you think you'll be working? Now, if you don't want to do anything else, I've made it pretty simple for you. You can see the numbers I've calculated already. So if you don't do an MBA, your annual expected salary after 5 years only goes up a little bit by about $6,000. Now, these numbers are based on Australian statistics. Through the Australian Bureau of Statistics, we have made sure that this data is valid and it's not made up. If you undertake an MBA after 5 years, the statistics tell us that your salary will go up by 44% within 5 years. So that means your annual salary after 5 years is $144,000. But your lifetime increased earnings for the remaining time that you're going to be working, an extra $227,500. And this is, we're not taking into account your personal circumstances, etc. If this is something that interests you and you want to run the numbers, this is here for you to do. If you do that, let me just hit present again so that we get going again. What you will get in an email is this email, and you will get another ebook, which is called the Impact Result Report. And so that walks you through about the impact of what an MBA will do for you. But, there's nothing more compelling than the numbers, right? So if you are in a career, you can go and I will make sure that the link to the calculator is in the EDM for you, the email that you'll get probably tomorrow. And you can go and play around with this all on your own. I've already got your contact details, but if you want the email with the results and the impact result report, pop your name and email there, and it will get emailed to you. It probably comes in at about 5-10 minutes after filling it in, but then you'll have something on paper and you can do your own due diligence. So look at this. The average yearly cost of an MBA through Ducere is $5,490. If you, sorry, it just threw me out because I'm thinking I'm on the screen. I'm not. You put your numbers in, and we were looking at some numbers of $144,000, an increase of 44 grand, and this is only going to cost you $5.5 a year. I think that's pretty compelling ROI for you here. So my final gift to you, I'm just going to leave that up for a bit, is book some time with me. I'm not going to say to you, go and enroll this minute. I understand this deserves consideration. It deserves a conversation. I know I was talking to a prospective student about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she said to me, it was so delightful to actually be able to speak to somebody in the university space for real. It was very difficult to actually contact a university and have a conversation. And if Ducere is the answer for you, fantastic. If Navigate is the answer for you, brilliant. But if we're not, that's okay. But at least you've taken some action. At least you've done the research and the due diligence. So that QR code will literally take you to my calendar, and you can just go and book me some time. So I'm just going to leave that sitting there for the moment. I'm just going to get this thing up a bigger screen for you for the moment. And I'm done, but I want to make sure, what's the time looking like? I'm pretty much on time. I'm 3 minutes short. So what I would love, questions. Do you have any questions of me? Do you have anything, if there's anything that you want to know about what I discussed tonight, any aspect of the Ducere offering or Navigate, happy to help you wherever I can. Edit the event page with your Zoom link.
Okay, hi there, Joanne. Thank you very much for this. Hi, I really enjoyed this. And the last point you made about, taking the time to do your due diligence. We got somebody who's
wanting to ask a question?
Yes, can you hear me?
Something.
Sorry, Joe, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Sherry,
Joanne?
yes.
Okay, great. I just wanted to say thank you very much for this lovely informative presentation. Something you mentioned at the end, about just taking your time and the whole due diligence and making this really big decision, brings to mind, what if I don't feel I'm ready for an MBA? And, that's quite a big issue.
Yeah, it is. And I often speak to people and they go, oh, not sure. So there's a couple of things in your favor. But for everybody, there's programs through Navigate Biz that we can help you to get ready. If you know in your heart that's where you need to be, but you're not ready yet, happy to work with you and do some mentoring and walk you through that. But the other great thing is, because we have 6 universities, there are intakes probably every month. I think the only month, weirdly, we don't have an intake is August. Oh, I know why. Because a lot of our universities are in the Northern Hemisphere when they take their summer holidays. So the great thing is, if you're not ready today, that's okay. If you want to just have a conversation to see what you need to do to get ready, that's perfectly fine. You've got a QR code there. But, there are intakes. Most universities have an intake 3 times, if not 4 times a year. So we're not going anywhere. It will be here. But there's nothing better than doing the research, finding out the information so that when you are ready, you can just hit the button. So it's pretty easy, Sherry.
Okay, great. Because that was actually my next question. I think you've answered, if I can enroll anytime. So it sounds like that is something that's more flexible.
Yes. And I guess whilst you can enroll anytime with the particular intake months with each university, as you would have seen, if you remember, there's different qualifications with different universities. So if there's a particular MBA, say the executive MBA, you just need to wait for that, one of those 3 months to come up during the year so that you can enroll. So, but yeah, essentially any time.
Okay, awesome. That sounds great. So, how can I compare these to how do university courses compare to what can be done in Australia or any other countries?
Yeah, and that's a really good question. I did only cover it very briefly, but if we compare global MBAs, the overseas offering to what's available here in Australia traditionally, excluding the Ducere ones, entry is difficult. Price point sits between 65 grand and 300,000, like an enormous amount of money. They can take you from 3 to 6 years to complete. Yes, you can go and get funding for it, no problem at all. And we have access to that as well. And generally, there are at least 12 subjects, and time, money, and the number of subjects. And they're written by academics. But here in Ducere, they're written by entrepreneurs. Our overseas MBAs are only 6 subjects. In Australia, they're 12 because that's the framework we operate under here. But, the amazing thing is you've got access to these global leaders. You've got a price point that sits between $13,000 and about 45,000 Australian. So, they are efficient with time, efficient with cost. So, and they don't have the global leaders interviews woven through them. So I think, there's some fundamental differences between what Ducere offer and your traditional university offering.
Okay, awesome. I think you also answered the next thought that just came in my mind about payment options for the course. So it also seems pretty good and flexible.
Yeah, indeed. So in Australia, we've got access to the HEX loans for those people who particularly want an Australian qualification. But for overseas universities, we've got payment plans. For a couple of universities, we've got interest-free options. There's lots of scholarships. So, that's the importance of having a conversation, because there's a lot of information to share. Anybody researching a bachelor's or a master's degree will be overwhelmed with the amount of information that they've got to go and find them on various sites. So that's the beauty of, if you want to catch up with me, click on that QR code, and I can go through it and then just give you some dot points of what you need to know about all that intricacy of, all the details you need to make a good informed decision.
Okay, that is great, Jo. Thanks. Like you said, it can be quite a lot to absorb. So you're giving me a lot to think about, and I'm sure everyone else. I think I've taken up enough time with all my questions. Don't see any other questions right now.
No, not at all. But I've left my phone number here. My email address is there for the Ducere email. Anybody is welcome to contact me. They can reach out. I think if I hit, I'm just going to pop in the chat so people can grab it straight away. I've just put my contact details there. It's a Navigate Biz email, but they all come to the same Outlook, so that's fine. Happy to chat. I'll just have a conversation anytime that works for anybody who's listening or watching the recording. I have time frames between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. as a rule most days, and often on a Saturday morning. So happy to fit in with everybody's busy lives. But I want to thank you all for listening. For those of you who are going to watch this on the recording, thank you very much. I appreciate the time and effort it has taken for you to come and listen and watch this. And any questions, please reach out. And thank you very much. I really appreciate it.